Hello everyone, welcome back to Kredict. This is 45-day challenge of Learn Blockchain Development, and today is day 17 of this challenge. In this challenge, we are learning about blockchain development, and till this day, we have learned about many features of Solidity language. And in today's video, we are going to see about events in Solidity. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. For this, just open up your browser. We are using Chrome here, and here is our folder in which we store our contracts. So in today's video we are going to see about events. So let me quickly create a file named events, and the extension will be sol.sol. So just write the basic boilerplate of this contract, and the version is going to be 0.8.20, and write the contract here, events. So our basic contract is ready. But first of all, what are events in Solidity? Just think about this. We have seen return statement in Solidity, which returns the value after the successful execution of the function. But events are used to create logs in the smart contract. The events are not internally accessible, but it's stored on blockchain and can be viewed from outside the contract and track if any event is fired. And the term to fire event in Solidity is known as emit. So I will show you the example, then you will understand it more comfortably. So for this, we have to need some things in our contract. So first I'm gonna write a unsigned int, which I'm gonna name as number, and pass a value of 45. And to create an event, you have to write event, and here you can write the name of event. So I'm gonna write fire event. You can name this anything you want, but for now I'm going to name it as fire event, and this will return a value of uint, which named as final number. And similar to functions, you can pass here multiple arguments, but for now I'm going to just pass one number. So we have created our event, and now we are going to write a function which will fire this event when executed. I'm going to name it as action function, or you can name it something. I'm just not as good in creating names for functions, so don't mind this. This will be a public function, which is just a view function, and we are not going to return anything, just emitting the event. To emit the event or fire the event, you have to write emit and the name of event, and here you have to write the value you want to pass. So why there is an error? Okay, so we cannot write as view, just remove that view. So we have here our first function and first event that will be fired when we call this function. For this, just go to this tab, select the contract, and click on deploy. Here you can see we have this action function, and to see event we have to open this log here. Just click on action function, and you can see we have this success message. And when you open this, scroll down, and you can see we have an event named fire event, and which returns the value of file number as 45, which is same as the this number. So just quickly drop this down. Okay, so we have seen our first event in Solidity. This is how you declare an event, and in those Braces, you can pass number of arguments you want to emit while firing the event, and you have to pass all those values. You can fire this event or emit this event from any of the function, and after any of the logic will be executed. Generally, we fire events in the last of any successful transaction occurrence. So this is how. For now, just close this and let's see some other examples of using events. We can create multiple events here. I'm gonna create, name it as event 2, which takes one unit. And if you don't want, you can leave it without any names. Unit and second will be is, you can say, string type. This is not mandatory to name the values, but this is always recommended to give it a name to identify it in the front end when we are dealing with dApps. So now we can create another function to fire the event 2. For this, I'm going to create a function, action function, just name it as 2, which is a public function, and it will emit the event 2. And we can pass value directly here. So here I'm gonna pass 34 and string, as you can say, John. So we have now our another function which fires or emits the event 2. For this, just open up, remove this from here, click on deploy, open this. So now we have two functions that fire different events. Okay, so let's clear the console. Click on this action function 2. The function executed successfully. Open this up, scroll down, and here you can see we have fired event as event 2, and which returns the value of 0 1. This is the indexing because we have two values, you can see here. First is 34, which is same, and second is John, which is also the same we have passed. So this is how you can create events in Solidity and emit those while any execution. So just quickly see another example, or even a very practical example of using events. So what we are going to do, we are going to create an event which will be emitted when a transfer is take place. For now, just create an address which is public. You know how to write variables there. My address, just scroll down and copy one of those addresses. I'm going to copy this, paste it here. Now create a function, name it as transfer, and this will take no value, but it is a payable function and public also. So we have our function and variable. So just create a event here, which is, I'm going to name it as transfer, and I'm going to pass here the address as user and uint as amount. Just remove this extra comma. So we have created our event, and in this, what we do, we can make this address payable, which we have my address, and dot transfer, you can say as message dot value, and after this, just emit the event, you can say transfer. These events are very useful in front end when we are creating the actual front end of our dApps. So I'm going to pass here the my address, which we are sending value, and in place of amount we are going to pass just message dot value. So this is our basic example of, and very useful and practical example of using events to have a record on front end while executing any smart contract. So just click on deploy. And now you can see our contract is deployed. Here is the transfer function which is payable because it has a red button, and you can also see we have return payable here. I like to clear this console to have a better understanding. Just clear this. Okay, so as this is a payable function, we have to pass some values, and now you know how to pass values from here. So I'm going to switch to ether, and I'm going to pass 67 ethers, you can say, which is a lot, but these all are free. Let's click on transfer, and now you can see our contract has been successfully executed, or the contract function has been successfully executed. And if you will open this, you can see here we have an event fired which is transfer. This will be the same in name as we have declared here, and it has two position arguments. First is the address in which we have sent the amount, and second is the amount which we have sent. Now if you notice, this is not exactly what we have returned. We have returned 67, but this has a lot of zeros there. So what is this exactly? Actually, this is represented in form of v, wei, which you have seen here, v. In EVM based blockchains, the smallest value is v, and one ether contains of 10 to the power 18 v's. If you don't know what it is and how does this thing work, don't worry, we will also cover these topics in future videos. But for now, let's consider it as 67. And if you want, you can count the zeros, it should be 18. So if you want to convert ethers directly to V, you can multiply it by 10 to the power of 18. Or if it is a complete value like no decimal or just greater than 0, just put 18 zeros after it and you will get the directly converted value from ether to V. For example, like 5, 10, 11, 64, something which does not have any decimal place value. Just add 18 zeros after it. This is not recommended, but this is the quickest way to figure out what the amount should be in ETH to V. So this is our example, and we have seen how to use this. And I hope now you know what are events in Solidity, how to write them, how to emit them, and we can pass parameters to it, use in functions. I think you have got a better idea of using events in Solidity. This is very useful while developing the smart contract. This does not change the core functionality of our smart contract, but this is very useful for keeping logs of every transaction on the blockchain. So this is all for today. This is 17th day of Learn Blockchain Development Challenge in just 45 days. You are watching Kredict. I will see you in the next day or tomorrow. Till then, stay safe.